Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. All right, so we are going to do a video on misfires. All right, if you guys have never had a misfire before, it could be kind of scary because the symptoms could pretty much be you would think if you have these symptoms where your engine's just running really rough. Sometimes it could be a banging sound from your engine, a knocking sound, and it's just scary because the first thing you think about is could you drive the car some more? Are you able to get it home? This is a big major issue. It's going to be a lot of money. This car is going to be junk. You're going to have to change the engine out. All those things. All right, if you've never had a misfire before, or you didn't know it was a misfire, you would think that you would have a really huge engine issue that could probably cost you a ton of money. But here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys what to look for as far as how to diagnose this. Okay. Basically, if you have a misfire, the symptoms that I've pretty much thrown out, you're gonna have a check engine light, obviously. If you don't know what an OBD2 scanner is, you should definitely get one, and you should definitely plug it in, and you should definitely scan it. If you do have a misfire, it's gonna give you codes for misfire. It's gonna give you codes for the specific cylinder that's misfiring, or if it's not a specific cylinder and you have a vacuum leak, you're gonna have codes that would tell you that it's a random misfire. But I'll tell you guys what, it's not the worst case in the world. It probably sounds a lot worse than it is. You probably shouldn't be driving it if you guys have a misfire, although if you need to drive it a couple blocks, you could technically do it. Although, a lot of times newer vehicles these days with new computers will just put you into limp mode, and you're gonna have a rough time having very little power getting to where you need to get to, but you shouldn't be driving it for too long. And to be honest with you, if it's just a misfire, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You probably don't want to put any strain on your engine or damage your engine by driving it if you possibly can. I know sometimes you might be on the freeway and I don't know where you might get a misfire, or you're driving on the street and you get a misfire, just pull to the side of the road. You probably want to have it A, diagnosed, to B, and have the either the vacuum leak figured out as far as what's causing it and fixing it, or maybe if you're lucky and you're having like one cylinder that's having an issue, it's probably the coil itself. It could be the spark plug, it could be a coil, it could be other things, but most of the time it's pretty simple. So basically what you guys want to do is, all right, the simplest way for you guys to figure out whether it's a misfire or not, all right, the simplest way to figure out whether it's a misfire or not is if misfire, generally speaking, a misfire, even a vacuum leak, normally shouldn't be, actually a misfire or random misfire, it shouldn't cause you a crank no start issue. It'll crank up, it'll run, but the situation is it'll run really rough. It'll run really rough, and in some instances there'll be like really loud knocking sounds from the engine. Had a Toyota Highlander hybrid where the misfire caused these sounds that just sound like the engine was just absolutely broken. But once the misfire was figured out and fixed, it drove like a dream. Okay. So basically, if you guys are in this situation, obviously you guys want to just pull to the side of the road and get it towed to your home or wherever it is. If you live close by, you might be able to drive to wherever the nearby place is, your house or whatever, to just keep it stable. All right. Secondly, you want to figure out whether it's a misfire or not, where that misfire is coming from. You're gonna need an OBD2 scanner. All right. Plug the OBD2 scanner in, and it's going to give you codes for where that specific misfire is coming from. Now, if you get a random misfire for the most part, most of the time, it's a vacuum leak. All right, you're gonna have some kind of, for the most part, okay, you're gonna have vacuum leaks in some area of the hose, the vacuum hoses. All right, you got to figure out where it's coming from as far as that's concerned. If it's a random misfire, you need to generate a code for a random misfire. If you have a misfire for a specific cylinder, that's probably like the best scenario for you. If you have a misfire for a specific cylinder, you're going to get a code. It's going to tell you exactly where that cylinder is. What you're going to do is you're going to have to try to figure out whether it's the A, the spark plug, B, the coil itself. Most of the time it's going to be the coil itself. All right, most of the time it's going to be the coil itself, but you want to figure that out. Basically, the way you figure out whether it's the coil, you could swap that coil out. You could swap that coil out for a new coil. But if you don't know whether it's the coils that's the issue, all right, you take the coil from from the part of the from the cylinder that's working fine. You swap it out with the cylinder that's not working. You swap those out and then start it, and then run the OBD2 scanner. If the misfire switches from that cylinder to another, to the cylinder that you replaced it with, the bad coil, then you know for a fact that it's the coil that's the issue. But 99% of the time, it's probably the coil that's the issue. It's probably not the spark plug. Sometimes it could be the spark plug. But if you get into a situation where you get a misfire for one coil, you probably should like swap out all of them. I mean, chances are you probably have they probably haven't been changed out for like over 100,000 miles, and that one coil that's going bad is probably just telling you that you're going to have other issues as far as the other coils and spark plugs are concerned. All right, now I'll tell you guys what, all right, it's very expensive to buy the coils from any of these parts store. All right, the spark plugs, they're not too bad. The coils themselves, they'll run from anywhere from like $140 to $200 just for one single coil. These coils you guys could get online on eBay or Amazon for, you know, what is it, 4 packs for a 4-cylinder, 6 packs for a 6-cylinder, 8 packs for an 8-cylinder. You could get the coils, the spark plugs, and if it has any kind of wiring, the wiring also, you can get them for real cheap. Probably for one single coil you can get all those these days for all those. But there's a reason why these stores actually charge you the amount of money that they charge you as far as the coil is concerned, because they know that if you have a misfire, you're going to need to get that fixed right away. Most people drive one car. Most people want the car working fine as soon as possible. So they'll end up just buying that coil, paying the money for that coil, and trying to fix their issue. But in any case, if you guys have this situation, it's not the worst situation in the world. It's really, as far as engine issues are concerned, it's really not, you know, from like 1 to 10, is 10 being the worst. It's probably somewhere like around a 2 or 3 if you're like good with replacing stuff or DIY stuff or mechanic stuff and all that stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much the video for that. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave a question in the comment section. If you guys have any of your own experiences with this, definitely leave your own experience. Definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, and all that good stuff. Right, guys, appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, bye.